Hello, hi, I'm Susan. This is Comeback Yoga, gentle yoga and meditation. We'll be starting in 5 minutes, right on the hour. If you have any questions, you can type into the chat. This is a 50-minute class. We move and stretch and breathe and balance and do different things to give ourselves more energy, more support, working around with our bodies. We do that for about 30 minutes and then we do about 20 minutes of meditation. Meditation is very simple. You don't have to have any experience in yoga to practice with me today. And I'll offer different suggestions for different levels of intensity and support, so you can choose which one's best for you. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit that offers meditation and yoga classes to people with military service in their background. If you don't have military service, but you made it here to our YouTube channel, of course you're welcome here. And happy that you're here. You can go to comebackyoga.org and find out more about us and what we have to offer. If you do have military service in your background and you'd like to find an in-person class that's close to you, you can go to that website, comebackyoga.org, and you can find our schedule and join up, be part of the community. You can get on our website and get our newsletter. That's the word. On our newsletter, and you can find out what else we have to offer. So happy if you did that. Just a few minutes before we get started, you can look around your space. So I have stuff moved away from my mats. I just made this empty space in this room for me to practice in and for me to teach from. And it depends on what you've got available to you. If you have the room, you can move stuff away from your mat. I have my mat set up against the wall so you can see. I could put my back against the wall or I could put my elbow against the wall, and that just gives me a little bit extra space, extra support when I need it for balance or figuring out where I'm going to go in a pose. Sometimes it's nice to be able to put your elbow against the wall and give yourself a little bit more support. The other thing I do is close my door. That might be a thing that you want to do, or of course I turn my lights up so you can see me better on camera, but you might want to turn the lights down, close your window, stuff like that, so you can give yourself a little bit extra support. That's one way to think about it, right? One way to think about giving yourself a good space to practice in. Another way to think about it is to just practice in the space that you're in, and maybe you get used to having distractions and working with whatever you've got. There's no one path in your yoga practice. Everybody's got a different path. Everybody has different background. Everybody has different ways to think about things. Everybody has different situations in their bodies. Your body at 20 is really different than your body at 50. I know that people, have lots of things going on. Maybe your day was rough today, or maybe your day was easy. And it's just all about what you bring, where you are right now, and practicing with whatever you have, whatever you've got going on. Practice is a constant, but your practice is always different. Just a minute or so before we start now, and you can be setting up your space, begin to settle down. And I'm sitting, we'll start sitting, you can sit too. If you look left and right, and make sure you've got space to move your arms and your legs left and right, you just need about the space of a mat. So it's about 2 feet wide, 6 feet long. I'm going to be doing standing balances today. You can turn with me, but as I do the standing balances, I'm going to turn left and right. Wherever I'm facing, that's the top of my mat. So when I turn and face this way, that's the top of my mat. And that's so you can see this side of my body better when I turn this way. Because if I was turned this way and doing this side of my body, it would be hard for you to see what I'm doing. And so wherever I turn, that's the top of my mat. So when I say top of my mat, the way that I'm facing. You don't have to turn with me. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, let's start. Let's begin. Sit however you want to. I should say too, you're in your own space and you have this opportunity, this unique opportunity, in some cases, to do stuff from your couch, or you can do the resting part on your bed. And feel free to do that and move around and use whatever space you want to. Use the things that you have at hand. Why not? Take advantage of being in your own unique space and use the things around you that you have that maybe you wouldn't be able to do if you were in a conference room or a yoga studio or in somebody's, in a recreation center. Use the stuff that you have and let your practice be really uniquely yours and use all the things that support you. Bring your hands together out in front of you and rub your hands together. And notice how it feels to rub your hands together. Notice motion. Notice things like your sense of touch, what kind of information are your senses giving you. Notice what you see, what you hear, what you smell and taste. Notice what your sense of touch is telling you. And tuck your elbows in at your sides. Sit a little bit taller. Pull your thumbs toward your sternum. Put your fingers up and your elbows down. Notice all the things around you in your space. Maybe there's outside noise. Maybe there's inside noise. Maybe you're noticing all kinds of different things. Traffic outside, or the sound of your computer, your HVAC, your music, all the stuff that's part of your practice. Acknowledge and bring all that stuff into your moment and say, this is all part of my practice. This moment that I'm in right now, all the things that are here with me, this is all part of my practice. And welcome it in. Welcome not necessarily in the sense that you think all of it is great. It might be, but whatever you want, just recognize it, acknowledge it. This is what I have to work with. Take a soft inhale and exhale. Put your arms out in front of you. Stretch your arms forward. Inhale to lift your arms up a little bit. And exhale and let your hands go down. And you don't have to move exactly with my breath tempo. Just keep inhaling and exhaling. On your inhales, let your arms drop. With the movement of your breath. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Let's do one more. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Keep your left hand on your left knee. Take your right hand over towards your left knee and lean back a little bit. Stretch over to the right. Bring your gaze down toward your hands. Lift your torso up. Take your right hand on your right knee. Take your left hand on top of your right hand. Press them together and lean over towards the left. your torso. Put your hands on the tops of your knees, roll your shoulders up, back and down, and take a big circle with your torso around. Around, one direction. Sit tall, inhale, and exhale, go around the other direction. Take your right hand to the top of your head, to the back of your head. Press your head back into your hand and lift your right elbow up. Stretch through your right side. Press your left hand into your left knee and push yourself back up to center. Put your right hand on your right leg. Take your left arm out to the side. Put your left hand on the top of your head, on the back of your head. And press your head back into your hand. Support your head with your hand and lift your left elbow. Pressing your right hand into your leg, lifting yourself back to sit tall. Put your hands down on your knees and then tuck your chin and curl your spine. Roll your spine one direction. Rock forward onto your sit bones. Lift your rib cage. Lift your gaze up toward the wall of the ceiling. Exhale, curl in. Tuck your chin down towards your ankles. Inhale to rock forward. Lift your rib cage and lift your gaze. Bring your gaze forward. Bring your gaze down towards your mat. Put your hands down on the top of your mat and your knees on your mat. We're coming into table. So I'm going to angle a little bit. You're on your mat just exactly as you want to be. Tuck your toes under and let your hips move back toward your heels. Inhale to lift up. Walk your hands forward and lean forward into upward facing dog. You're stretching out the front part of your body. And move your hands back and move your hips back toward your heels. I like to have my toes tucked under when I do that. That stretches out the bottoms of my feet. You could also do one foot at a time, one top of your foot on the floor and your other toes tucked under. Moving forward and back. Starting to recognize your shoulders and your hips, big parts of your body that you can move in, your shoulders and your hips. Some of the places where we have movement, but also a lot of times places where we have challenges. Shoulders, hips, really common. So acknowledge your body exactly as it is. You're working with what you've got as you move forward and back. Then walk your knees out a little bit. Let your hips move back in the direction of your heels. And let your torso come on the inside of your legs and let your elbows come down to your forehead. Then you can turn your head softly left and right. Go in a circle with your nose, one direction, the other direction. Take a big soft inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back up to your table. Shift weight onto your right leg. Stretch your left leg back behind you. Curl your right knee underneath you and step your right foot forward. Inhale to lift your torso. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, put your fingertips down the direction of your front toes. Pull your hands by your hips. As you inhale, lift your torso. Reach your arms up and overhead. Stretch your arms forward. Lean your torso forward. And your fingertips come down towards your front foot. Glide back toward your hips. Lift your hands on your shoulders. Reach your arms overhead. And put your hands together in front of you. Press your hands together, elbows tucked at your sides. And rotate towards the right. Facing the direction of your right leg. Put your hands back down. Put your right leg back. Stretch it back behind you. Roll through your foot and your ankle. Put both knees down. Just switching sides now. Stretching your left leg back behind you. Curl your knee underneath you. Stretch your leg back behind you. Roll through your foot and your ankle. And pull your leg through. Step between your hands. And lift your torso. This time sweep your arms forward and down and overhead. Then pull your hands down by your shoulders, by your hips. Reach your fingers down towards your mat and lean forward. And your right hand, more or less, matches your left hand as you move through. You could watch your hands. Maybe kind of bring your gaze between your hands and watch your hands through your peripheral vision. Moving your hands down, sides of your body. Your hands come down towards your mat, past your toes, reaching forward, lifting overhead. Put your hands together. Press your hands together, elbows tucked in at your sides, and rotate your torso over and look past your left shoulder. And face the direction of your left knee. Put your hands down and step back. Both knees down, hands on your mat, tuck your toes under, let your hips move back toward your heels. And walk your hands forward, lean into upward facing dog. And we're pulling back into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog can look like a lot of things. You can bring your forearms down onto your mat and put your hips up to a long ceiling. You could be in table, really, and let your hips move around a little bit. Maybe your spine. Your hands could be on the floor and your feet could be on the floor with your hips angling up toward the wall of the ceiling. And there are other variations of downward facing dog. Your main point is your hips and the crown of your head. Your spine is getting long. You're stretching your spine, lengthening and breathing. Keep breathing. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. We're coming into forward fold at the top of your mats. Forward fold at the top of your mat. You're allowing your head to forward a little bit. You can bring your elbows to the tops of your knees and interlace your fingers. You could put your hands on your mat. You can bring yourself into half forward fold with your hands in the front of your legs. The reason I'm giving you different variations, different possibilities in your body, so that you can choose different things. You can see what different positions feel like in your body, and then you can make a choice. Choose something. See what you can find in your body that seems best for you in the moment. You can listen to your body. Use your senses. Use your sensations. Notice your breath. Gradually, let's all stand. All the way up to stand. And roll through your shoulders. Up, back, and down. Put your hands together in front of your sternum. Thumbs close toward your sternum. Fingers pointing up, elbows tucked in at your sides. Shift weight onto your right foot and draw a little circle with your left heel, both directions. And shift weight onto your left foot. Pick up your right foot and step it back, maybe about a half step. Pick up, rock forward, and put your foot up and bring it back a little bit more. Rock forward, pick up your back foot, bring it a little bit back. Straighten your legs and hinge forward into the pyramid pose. Pyramid pose, your hips are moving back, your spine stays long, and you tilt forward with your head in line with your rib cage and your hips. It's a tilt, a hinge at your hips. Your hands stay in front of the rib cage. You're hinging, you're stretching, you're breathing. Bend your both of your knees and lift your torso. All the way back up to stand. Wrap your left arm underneath your right. Wrap your arms around each other or hold your opposite shoulders. Rock forward onto your front foot. Pick up your back heel, and here we are in an interpose with eagle arms. However you place your arms, lifting your back heel. If you tilted forward a little bit, what would happen if you stood firm on your front foot? Would your toes come up off the floor? They might. Let your back foot come all the way down, toes and your heel. Release your arms. Step together at the top of your mat. Inhale to reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend your elbows out to cactus. Stretch across your chest and release your arms down by your sides. Stand tall in mountain pose. Mountain pose is a way of finding the alignment of your body with your senses. Pull your chin back a little bit and find the position of your head. Then soften your shoulders down, breathe into your rib cage and your belly, and find the alignment of your rib cage and your hips. Slightly bend your knees and find the length of your low back and the strength of the front of your belly. And spread out your toes and find your foundation, your feet, whatever you're pressing down into your mat, whatever you're on, standing, whatever you're using as your foundation. That's your mountain pose. You can do that the other way too. You can focus from the ground up. We're going to do that next time. Shifting weight onto your left foot. Pick up your right heel and draw little circles with your hip. Go around one direction, other direction. And press your right leg down. Pick up your left foot. Step it back behind you. You're rocking forward a little bit. Pick up your foot again and step it back a little. Rocking forward a little bit. Pick up your foot and step it back, maybe just a little bit more. Stand firm, stand tall, put your hands together, elbows tucked into your sides and hinge forward. You're hinging at your hips, your pelvis, your rib cage, and your head all stay in one line. Your thumbs at your sternum help keep your spine long. Your chin stays slightly tucked, so finding length in your spine. Stretch the backs of your legs. Notice your balance, your breath. Notice that you have complete choice in how much you tilt forward. Breathe into your body. Slightly bend into your front knee, lift your torso, and rock forward onto your front foot, lift your back heel. Coming into the dancer pose, you're shifting maybe just a little bit more weight onto your front foot, straighten it, and try lifting your back toes. Breathe. Awesome, nice work. Put your toes down and your heel down. Rock back a little bit and step together at the top of your mat. Release your arms down and stand tall. This time we're going to go from feet up, from the floor up. Whatever you're standing on, wiggle out your toes or find pressing down into your mat, into your floor, whatever you're standing on, whatever you're lifting up from. Press down, find your connection, and breathe. Lift up, and when you inhale and exhale, you're just noticing what happens in your body when you breathe. Pull your chin back a little bit and find the length of your neck. Smooth out the back of your neck. Inhale to reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend your elbows out to cactus. Take your right arm underneath your left. Wrap your arms around each other or hold your opposite shoulders. Shift your weight onto your left foot and step your right foot back. Then slide your hands to your opposite elbows, to your forearms, to your palms. Rub your palms together. Take your left arm down, bring your right arm up. We're tilting into the triangle pose. Inhale to bend into your left knee and glide your arms into reverse. Your right arm comes down, your left arm comes up and up. Inhale, lift your arms out to T. Push forward. Come up onto your back toes and rock back onto your back foot and step your front foot back. Step back. Nice work. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale and tilt. And your right arm comes down and your left arm comes up. You're finding your triangle pose. Then into your front knee. Glide your arms forward and up. Reach up. Exhale, step forward, rock forward onto your front foot. Step back on your back foot, step together at the back of your mat. Balance, trickiness. Walk your feet out towards the edges of your mat. Glide your weight over onto your right foot and extend your right arm up, your left arm down. Your left arm mimics the extension, this angle. Shift a little bit more onto your right. Reach with your left and reach with your right and try to pick up your left toes off the floor. Try tilting your head a little bit. Challenge your balance just a tiny bit more. And step your left foot down, both feet down, hands together in front of you. Sit back in a chair pose. Inhale to stand. Shift your weight onto your left foot this time. Your left arm reaches up, your right arm's down, and maybe your right toes come up off the floor. Reach and stretch. Maybe your head tilts a little bit in line with your reaching left arm. Breathe and breathe. Great job. Both feet down, hands together in front of you. Press your hands together and sit back into the chair pose. Walk your feet towards each other a little bit and give yourself a little bit of time in the chair. What happens when we hold a pose for a little while is that your body gets kind of used to it. And then sometimes your muscles decide, your body gets a little bit more flexible, a little bit more strength. Sometimes you can go a little deeper in the pose, or sometimes you decide you want to come out a little bit of the pose. So give yourself that option. See what happens when you're in chair pose for a couple of rounds of breath. Inhales and exhales. That's a round of breath. Rock weight back into your heels. Spread out your toes. Move your shins back. Would you like to sit down a little bit more? Would you like to lift up a little bit? One more round of breath. Full inhale and exhale in your chair pose. And then straighten your legs. Release your arms down. Step back towards the back of your mat if you're not already there. And look at the space of your mat. See the cross section of your mat. See the long edges of your mat. You're going to travel again, forward and back across the mat. Take your hands out in front of you, interlace your fingers, release your pointer fingers, and point forward. Shift weight onto your left foot, step your right foot forward, rock forward, and lift your back heel. The dancer pose. You pick up your back foot and curl your back leg forward, bring your knee up. Remember, your toes could be down, of course, or your knee might be bent with your foot off the floor. Press out through your heel, bring your toes toward your shin, and extend. And now cross your index fingers and go loose, a very loose interlace of your hands. Step your left foot down and hinge forward into the pyramid pose. And your hands could open, and you could put your hands on your front leg. You could bring your hands up toward your hips. You could reach your arms up towards the ceiling. In your pyramid pose, glide your hands down and open your knees. Lift your arms forward. And this time, put one hand on top of the other. So have both palms facing up, one hand on top of the other, doesn't matter which one. It's a different way to connect your arms, different way to connect your hands. Change of pattern. Shifting weight onto your front foot. Your back heel comes up. Here's the dancer pose. You're balancing. You might shift a little forward and lift your back foot. Now try curling. Take as many rounds of breath as you want to. Curl your back leg forward and lift your knee. Your toes could be down to give yourself extra support. And try extending your leg. Then rock forward. Your foot comes down. Both legs firm and hinge forward. Hinge forward into pyramid pose and release your arms down. Reach your fingers in the direction of the floor. Sweep your arms back behind you. Reach up towards the ceiling. Sweep your arms down. Bend both of your knees. Lift yourself up to stand. Hands together in front of you. Step together at the top of your mat. Inhale to reach up. Let's find a side stretch. Take your left arm down and press your left arm into your side. You're going to walk your feet just a little bit apart. And press down in your legs. Put your hand on the top of your head. Slide your hand to the back of your head and point your right elbow up towards the ceiling. Your left arm presses in to give you more length. Your feet press down like we did our 2 mountain poses. Find your foundation and rise up, lift up, lengthen, and bend. Inhale to lift. Your right arm comes down, roll through your right shoulder. Let's just shift the direction. You're pressing down in your feet. Your left arm reaches out. Your hand comes to the top of your head. Lift your head into your hands. And then slide your hand to the back of your head. Press your right arm into your side. And lift your left elbow. There's lots of length going on here using the strength of your foundation, your lower body pressed down into your mat. Lifting through even your hand behind your head can lengthen. Lift your head a little bit. Press down to lean and lift. Get longer, taller. Breathe. Inhale and come back to neutral in your body. Release your left arm down. Pick up your shoulders, bring them back and up, forward and down. Now step either forward or back towards the middle of your mat, whichever way you're facing. Step or hop or walk your feet out to the edges of your mat. You're going to turn. You're going to stay whichever direction you're facing. Bring your hands together in front of you. Thumbs just above your sternum this time, so your fingers are kind of level with your chin, and sit back into wide-legged chair. Inhale to reach up, stand tall. Your arms part out to the sides. Turn your palms down and hinge forward about halfway, hinging at your hips once again. Pull your hands in toward your shoulders and reach your arms forward. Stretch long through your sides. And bend your knees, sink down. Sweep your arms down to the floor, out to the sides, up overhead as you stand tall. Connect your palms together and draw your hands down, front side of your body, all the way down. Take your thumbs over toward your left shoulder, turn your gaze past your right shoulder. Then sweep the pinky edges of your palms across. Rotate your thumbs up towards your right shoulder. Turn your gaze past your left shoulder. Pinky edges of your hands lead as your arms stretch forward. Turn your thumbs up, your pinkies down. Rotate your palms down. Release your arms down. Inhale to glide your arms up to about shoulder height, just like we did when we started. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower your arms. You're planting weight down, pouring weight into your lower body, finding your alignment, noticing how you've placed yourself. You can look at your mat, find the spaces between your toes, spaces between your fingers. We'll do one more inhale and exhale, moving your arms up to about shoulder height and releasing your arms down. And bring your hands together in front of you. You can step or walk or hop with feet back towards each other. Inhale to reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms out to T. Press your palms. Turn your fingers down. Scoop them underneath you. Backs of your hands come together. Your palms come together. Point your fingers down. Follow your arms down. We're coming into forward fold and then walking into plank position. Plank is the beginning part of push-up. Arms are straight-ish. Your head's in line, the rest of your spine. Press back through your heels, and your toes maybe. You can always be on one knee. Do what you can do. Do what you feel like you want to do. Give yourself options and choices. Choose the one that's best for you right now. It doesn't necessarily mean that you always choose the easiest thing. You don't want to do that. You're giving yourself options. When you're ready, both knees down to your mat. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees, underneath your hips. Move through cat and cow. All through your spine. Move your hips left and right. And walk your knees out a little. And let your hips move back toward your toes. This doesn't work for everyone's body. It's a pretty deep angle for your knees and for your ankles. Perhaps you're on your forearms with your toes tucked under or one foot straight, the other foot tucked under, and you're moving your head left and right. And choose another totally different option for you. This warrior fold position. You start to lift yourself up. Bring your legs underneath you. Let's go back to seated. Stick your legs out in front of you. And sit in. I'm laughing because it's called easy pose, because it's not necessarily an easy way for people to sit. So you can sit in this position, or you can sit however you want to cross your legs. Stick your legs out in front. We're back to the beginning. As we ease into our meditation practice, you can close your eyes, you can have your eyes open, cast your mind on what we just did, all the different movements we did. We moved back and forth across our mats, balance, we practiced standing tall and using strength and flexibility. We rotated, we side stretched it, we did so many different things in our bodies, and all the things that your body can do. And give your body some acknowledgement for all the things that it can do. Start to wiggle through your fingers, roll through your shoulders, move through your head. Make any little small, nuanced, subtle movements that you want. You can start to roll your torso around in a circle. One direction and then the other direction. Extend your fingers out from the centers of your palms and curl one finger in at a time. Curl your hands into loose fists. And extend your fingers out one at a time. And curl your fingers into loose fists one more time. Extend your fingers out one at a time. Kind of like you're counting on your hands. And then curl your fingers into loose fists. Put your heels of your hands on the tops of your legs. Press the heels of your hands down, tops of your legs, finding different angles. Encouraging release of the tension built up in your muscles, big muscles at the tops of your legs. Then move your head around on the top of your neck, any amount, in any way you want. You can tilt. Turn your head, tilt your head. Roll through your left shoulder, both directions. Roll through your right shoulder, both directions. Take your right hand palm facing up and place your left hand palm facing up and your right hand. Your right hand cradles your left hand and touch your thumbs together. Your arms rest from your shoulders, connecting your hands together in your lap. And start to notice the space that you created, the space on the insides of your arms. Pull your chin back a little bit, look through the crown of your head. Turn your attention up towards your face. Notice your forehead, you can lift and lower your eyebrows. Release the corners of your eyes and go around a little bit. Notice your upper eyelids and your lower eyelids. Notice the muscles of your eyes. See if you can release the intensity of the muscles of your eyes even by just a few percentage points. And that might mean closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Start to bring your awareness to your nose and your cheeks. You notice your nostrils, the bridge of your nose, how your cheeks are on either side, left and right of your nose. Glide your awareness out towards your jaw. Wiggle your jaw left and right. Move your attention to your mouth. Notice your upper lip, corners of your lips, your bottom lip. You can wiggle your tongue around in your mouth and have your lips together, but your teeth just slightly parted. And your tongue can press up on the roof of your mouth. Press it up on the roof of your mouth, press it, and give yourself just a little bit of a lift. Lengthen out the back of your neck. And then release your tongue down into your lower jaw. So your tongue is heavy in your lower jaw. Teeth just a little bit parted. And your lips are together. Just lightly pressed together. Notice how that feels. It's different than what you normally do. Find your breath. Let your breath come into your awareness. Let your breath be steady and smooth. As steady and smooth as possible. You can stay sitting up, or you can choose to lie down if you're, again, in your own space and you want to lay down on your bed, or if you want to sit on your sofa, lay down on your sofa. You can lay down on your mat and do whatever you want. You can stay sitting up too. That's up to you. Now is a good time to change your position, shift your position. You can move any way you like. And once you've moved, give yourself a couple of rounds of breath to settle back into your body and your awareness to your body. While you're sitting up and you're against a wall, you can lean your back against the wall. However you place your body, so let yourself settle in. And turn your awareness, your attention to processes and systems of your body. Notice your breath, notice things like your digestion, your heart beating. You might feel or notice your blood pumping. You might notice all kinds of other things. There are lots of systems of our bodies. Acknowledge and welcome in. Again, welcoming doesn't necessarily imply a judgment, whether something's good or bad. Just acknowledging that it's there. Listening, paying attention. If you get distracted by noise, by something happening, by thought, give yourself complete permission to deal with anything that you want to deal with, anything for any reason you need to shift, change, anything you need to do. It seems important, that's fine. And then just bring yourself back to your practice. It's simple. allowing yourself to shift. Once you've noticed processes of your body, feeling, observing, and noticing those things, start to bring your awareness to your thoughts. Not the minutiae of your thoughts, maybe at first, you're noticing what you're thinking about. Your qualities of your thoughts. What are the qualities of your thoughts? What are they like? Are your thoughts quick? Do they seem fuzzy? Do your thoughts have color or shape or pattern? Do your thoughts have a theme? As you start to notice the qualities of your thoughts, expand your awareness out a little bit and observe that you hold space for your body and you hold space for your thoughts. There's a larger thing than your thoughts. You are holding your thoughts. Notice that. Whatever you want to call that, your awareness, yourself. Observe and notice your awareness, yourself. The thing that is not your thoughts, the thing that's you. Breathe softly. Allow yourself, invite yourself, welcome yourself. You might keep observing and noticing your thoughts. And as you do, allowing your thoughts to drift in and out of your awareness, holding space for your thoughts. Perhaps every once in a while inviting your thoughts to settle down and be still like your body. Noticing if there are any thoughts that seem particularly pressing, really important. Acknowledging any thoughts like that. Actually start to swallow a little bit, move your head around a little bit. If you're lying down, you can wiggle your shoulders, wiggle your hips a little. You can move your fingers and your toes. However you place your body, if you're sitting up or you're lying down. A big inhale, notice your left arm. Notice your left arm Inhale and squeeze up your left fingers into the center of your palm. Squeeze your left elbow, your left arm in at your side. Squeeze your left shoulder. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and release. And exhale, release your left arm. And let your left arm be soft again. Do the same thing with your right arm. Curl your fingers into the center of your palm. Squeeze your right arm in towards your side. Squeeze your right shoulder. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale and release your right arm. Inhale and squeeze up your left leg. Start at your toes, your foot, your lower leg, your knee, your thigh, your hip. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Your left leg, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and exhale and release your leg. And find your right leg. Curl up and start at your toes. Squeeze your foot, your toes, your lower leg, your knee, your thigh, your hip. Squeeze and squeeze. Exhale and release. And find your torso. In any place that you can squeeze in at your torso, take a soft inhale and squeeze up. Might be your muscles of your chest, your back, your sides, your belly. Squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and exhale and release. And notice your neck, your face, and your head. A soft inhale and contract. Find your muscles and energize your muscles of your face, your head, your neck. Squeeze and contract and energize and exhale and release. Muscles of your face, your head, and your neck. Now your whole body. Inhale and anything that you feel like you want to engage in your body. It might be your hands, it might be your feet. It might be only one thing, or it could be your whole body. It's your choice. Inhale and contract, engage, move. Invite sensation, exhale, and release. You can do that one more time. Inhale, and engage all of your muscles. Pull in towards your center. There's lots of different ways to feel about it, lots of different ways to think about it, lots of different ways to do it. Just pulling in, finding your bones, your muscles. Exhale and release. You start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can roll through your wrists and your ankles. You can move your arms and your legs. If you're lying down, you can go around a little. You can move your legs in toward your torso and draw little circles with your knees. If you're sitting up, you can sit up and draw little circles with your torso while you're sitting up. And put your feet down, roll over onto one side. After you've rolled over onto one side, use your arms and your legs. Turn yourself back up to sit. Start to become more awake, more aware. If your eyes were closed, you open your eyes, take in your space, and use your other senses, your sense of hearing, smell, taste, touch, and be more alert, more awake, more aware. Keep your hands out into your peripheral vision and stretch your arms up and overhead. Keep your hands in your peripheral vision if possible. Connect all of your fingertips together overhead and draw your hands down, bend your elbows and draw your hands down into your full vision. And seal your palms together. Pull your thumbs toward your sternum, tuck your elbows into your sides.
Pull your thumbs toward your sternum, sit a little bit taller. Pull your chin back slightly, lengthen out, smooth out the back of your neck. Ask yourself if there is anything that you discovered today that you'd like to keep with you, maybe bring to your next class, or keep with you and work on later. Maybe there's something that you'd like to write down. Seemed like it was significant that you discovered that came to you while you were listening, paying attention to your body, or to your thoughts. There might not be anything, but if there is, give yourself that opportunity to explore anything that you discovered. Take a soft inhale breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And do one more inhale and exhale. Thank you so much. Thanks for practicing with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions, if you need anything, please you can ask in the chat when we have class, and you can also contact our staff at comebackyoga.org. We have lots of ways for you to stay connected, to keep up with your practice, and hope that you will, and I hope you will continue to keep up with your practice, whatever the circumstances, whenever you can, to keep up with your practice as best you can. And however we can support you, however I can support you in that, I'm so happy to do that. Feel free to ask, and we'll do our best to give you the things that can support you. Please come back and see us. We have live streaming classes every day. We have in-person classes, and we have all the videos on our YouTube channel. So come back soon and often, and I'll see you next time.